$99. Tappan self-cleaning electric range, only $377. Buy now with 0% interest for 6 months.
Don't miss it!
The Memorial Day sale is going on now at Smith's. Smith's Furniture, Appliance, and Electronics. That's who.
Whenever you talk about a tire store with both a large name brand selection and the guaranteed lowest prices in town, the same name just keeps popping up.
Now at AutoSource, you'll find Armstrong Formula LT light truck all-season radials now starting at $54.99, included as a 40,000-mile manufacturer warranty. And make sure your tires and toys are always pumped up with our 12-volt mini air compressor, only $9.99.
AutoSource, everything for your car. Or less.
Radio's morning DJs are known to pull off some crazy promotional stunts, but the one you're about to see is literally death-defying. What started out as a plug for the Kentucky Derby aboard a hot air balloon ended 100 feet above ground on top of 138,000 volts of power. David Lee Miller has the story.
Sparks are flying and we're spinning. We hit the power line and lit up the sky like we did. We're going down. We're going down. This is it.
Louisville disc jockey John Ramsey will never forget it. The day he almost lost his life while doing his radio show. It all began April 26th with a special broadcast from a hot air balloon to help promote the Kentucky Derby.
Every year I do this. It's kind of a way to sell Derby. Derby Week's big here, and part of that Derby Festival Week is the Great Balloon Race. So every year for 5 years now, I've gone up in a balloon and I overlook the city during the morning show.
But on this morning, weather conditions were far from ideal, and a sudden downdraft sent the 132-foot balloon careening into a high-powered electrical line. Eyewitness Dan Dant watched in horror.
When he hit, there was a big explosion, loud pop, a big ball of flame, and then they just sort of held on.
DJ John Ramsey held on for his life, along with fellow passenger Deborah Sheehan and pilot Mike Kirk.
All I saw was light. I was horizontal. That was all I saw was light, just blinding light.
As the balloon struck 138,000 volts, the radio station's news director, Dawn G., was unaware anything was wrong.
I'm sitting there waiting, thinking, why isn't he talking to me? He's supposed to be doing a live broadcast, and I just thought, come on, John, quit goofing off. Until my traffic guy, who's up in an airplane, began to scream that John is caught in power lines. There's no movement in the basket. I said, what do you mean no movement? He said, they must be gone.
It was like, this is it, it's over, and you just kind of say, God, be easy on us, please let it go fast.
Miraculously, there was no swift ending, only fast thinking by pilot Mike Kirk, who, using safety ropes, secured the balloon and threw a line to anyone who could help.
He dropped me that line. He said, don't let go, and I didn't.
You could hear the hum of the electricity, the sparks were flying.
Rescue workers arrived, and for more than an hour, they struggled to free the trapped victims. Traffic came to a standstill as hundreds of onlookers, including John Ramsey's wife, nervously waited.
I wanted to look at her so badly. I wanted to look at her and say, I'm okay. But I was afraid to look at her because I wasn't. I was still a little shook up. I'm glad to be down. I'm glad to be down. Everybody was, it was scary, but everybody hung tough.
John and the two other survivors escaped without serious injury and spent the night at a local hospital. Among the many visitors was longtime friend and Louisville native Muhammad Ali.
His bit of advice to me was, never get in anything without a motor.
Oldies 103 WRKA Breakfast Bunch Morning Show. Glad to be alive is John Ramsey.
Thank you very much, Mr. Murphy. And I tell you, no macho man here. I was scared. The ground was well fertilized below there. Let me tell you that thing.
Although he likes to joke about it now, John knows that his brush with death has taught him a valuable lesson, one he's reminded of when he's with his son, Austin.
Don't take anything for granted. Be happy that you're alive. It could be over like this. If you can sneak a hug in before you go to work, and if you can get a peck on the cheek, please do it.
Their survival seems even more miraculous when you hear that 96% of the time an accident like that one ends in death. That's beating the odds. Just ahead, it's day 3 in our dating game series, so time to get a little more intimate.
Men hang on more with